Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dominion Wealth Zone. My name is Julius Olutoku. Dominion Wealth Zone aims to make or enable individuals and families to become the best of who they are. We want to help you to improve your life and your well-being. It's not only about money, but about life development. You could have money and become miserable. So we want you to have money and to enjoy it, to be wealthy in life. That's the aim of Dominion Wealth Zone. Please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button anytime, so that anytime I release any video, you can get the benefit of it. Everything I'm sharing on this telecast is not financial advice. They are just to educate you and for information purposes. Today, I'm going to be talking about setbacks and how to overcome them. Setbacks and how to overcome them. And naturally, life is full of challenges, it's full of oppositions, it's full of setbacks, it's full of things that makes you discouraged, weary, and at some point you want to give up. However, we are talking about you developing persistence and using the power of resistance, that is resisting the opposition, and using the power of resilience in your daily lives. Persistence is the key, and resilience enables you to develop the capacity and the ability in order to keep going. Now, I'm going to share a story with you. In 1992, this happened to me. I went for an interview November 1992 in a company. And when I got to that interview, it was October, because it was in November. I went for the second interview. I went for this interview, and I've done the interview. Everything was okay. But as part of my work, I will need to produce reports. So I was given this electronic typing machine. All what I've ever seen in my life was a manual typing machine. I've never seen an electronic typing machine. I've seen it in videos or in magazines. So I was given this electronic typing machine, and I was told, well, you have done well in the interview. Use this machine because you're going to use it to produce report. I didn't know that it was a big company, and the company still exists today. I didn't know that no one in the company was able to use that electronic machine. They've bought it a few years before, I think about a year or two, and nobody could use it, so they just left it in the office. They covered. So I started. I looked at the machine. I knew how to switch it on. I switched it on, and I tried to put paper into it. For me to put paper into it took about 20 minutes. It was cutting the papers. The machine will go ahead and cut the papers. And people were coming to the office, going out to the office. I didn't know they were looking at me. And at that time I was sweating. The air conditioner was so cold, but I was sweating. How do I overcome this? At the same time I was praying, I don't want to lose this opportunity. It's an opportunity of life. Well, after about 22 minutes, I pressed something and the paper went into the machine. I said, wow, bravo. Then I started producing the report I was going to produce. After doing that, gently I rolled the paper out of the machine, and I went to give it to one of the managers who was interviewing me. And he said, how were you able to do that? I said, I just did it. I said he gave me a point initially because I've not used it before. I said, Bob, I believe in brainstorming. I don't believe in giving up, and I need this job. Well, he called the other 3 directors and he said, look, this guy is excellent. Is this, is that. No wonder he had distinction in school. You understand? Well, that's by the way. So what I want to tell you is that giving up is not the option. In fact, if you have a pen and a note beside you, or you have your device, you need to write in capital letters. Put your name, put dash, and say giving up is not the option. Either in your marriage, in your finance, in your career, in your life, you're a sportsman, in anything you're doing. Tell yourself giving up is not an option. So if there are any other option, giving up is out of it. So this is either I succeed or I succeed. It's either I make it or I make it. So setbacks and how to overcome them. Number one, you need to stay positive. A lot of people, some people are pessimistic about life. And there's no way you can succeed in life if you are pessimistic. Because success starts from the mind. If your mind can see it, then your hands can touch it. So you need to stay positive. You need to maintain a positive mental attitude. You need to focus on the solutions, on the possibilities. You need to focus on the good aspect of what you are doing. Stay positive. Because this helps you to overcome your challenges and your setbacks. But once you stay positive and you tell yourself, I'm going to make it, I'll be able to do it, it is possible. What comes to your mind is, how do I do it? But if you say, oh, it's not possible, I can't do it, the next thing that comes to your mind is, well, I'll try another thing. No. I read about Thomas Edison that did the incandescent light, that he did about 999 experiments and he failed. And one of his assistants said, look, we failed so much. He said, we have not failed that 999 times. We've only learned 999 times how it will not work. And the next one, it worked. So stay positive. Number two is to stay resilient. To stay resilient. Tell yourself, I am not going back. What's resilience? Is the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep going in the face of opposition. That's resilience. Not giving up. Building resilience can help you to overcome any negative setbacks or any type of setbacks that's along your way. So you need to be resilient. Tell yourself, no retreat and no surrender. So that's the second thing you need to write. You need to write, put your name there, say Julius, and put a dash, and say no retreat, no surrender. In other words, we're gonna make it. I read about a war general. They were going to war, and after they crossed a river, they built a bridge to cross that river. And after they crossed the river, he told his soldier, said, burn that bridge. And he said, why? He said, burn it. And as a commander, they have to obey his command, so they burned the bridge. And he said, if we don't win this war, then all of us are going to die here, because there's no way to run back. So that's resilience. So tell yourself, I am not going back. Number three, reframe the situation. Reframe what you are passing through. Reframing the situation will enable a positive light to shed upon the problem. And that will give you an holistic view of what you're about to do. You will not be seeing it again from the point of a stumbling block. You'll be seeing it from the point of an achiever. I'm going to be able to achieve this. I'm going to be able to overcome this. I'm going to be able to do this. You understand? So you begin to see your challenges as opportunities for growth and development. You begin to see your challenges not as a challenge. You begin to see it as your stepping stone to your next level of breakthrough. So reframe the situation. Think about, this thing that's happening to me. Is it the end of life? No, it's not the end of life. It's a challenge that I have to overcome. And those who overcome are those that we call overcomers. So I want my name to be among the overcomers. So I've reframed the solution at the situation and said, look, I'm not having a problem. I'm having a situation that will enable me to be able to overcome. So that's number three. Number four, seek professional support. There are people who have done the kind of things you want to do. Go and get their support. And when I say professional support, I'm talking about support from professionals, families, and friends. Because they are your families does not mean that they're not professionals. The kind of support you get from your family, if you go to people outside, they give the same support and you pay them for that. So that I said seek professional support. I want to see your wife or your husband or your children or your friends as professionals. See them as people who can add value to yourself. After all, you're adding value to others. So why can't they add the same value to you? So I'm pretending in your mind that this advice they are giving you, I'm going to pay for it. Now, I've come to realize that when people go for advice or counsel, especially from their family, their friends, people they know, or even from pastors, they don't really take it so high because they think, I'm not paying for this. But when they go to a counselor, a professional counselor, or when they go to a mentor, or that they have to pay for, they give rapt attention. They do what they say. They are so rigid about it. When I talk to my friends who are professional, I take their advice as if I'm paying for it. I don't play with it. So seek support for professional. And number 5, I just have one more after this. Learn from your failures. Failure, they say, is not final. So learn from your failure. Failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow by analyzing, why did I fail in the first place? What was I supposed to do that I have not done? What step was I supposed to take that I have not taken? And how can I do this better? You look for areas for development, and you look for how you can increase your resilience, and you look for the errors that you have made. So stay and learn from your failure. Connect with the possibilities that are inside your failure. And finally, focus on what you can control. I saw an inscription many years ago in the 90s, and that inscription says that there are some things you can never control. It says, Lord, teach me to know the things I'm supposed to do, and the ones I can avoid, and the one I need to control. So focus on the things that you can control. There are some things you cannot control. You cannot control government's budget, but you can influence yourself on how you're going to react to the budget. You cannot control inflation in the society, but you can relate to how you're going to react to that inflation. Cut your expenses down. Avoid one or two things that are avoidable. You understand? So focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot control. A lot of people look at what they cannot control and they become overwhelmed and they give up. Focusing on what you can control can help you to be able to overcome all your setbacks. Focus on the things, look at them, and stay positive with them. But flexible. But positive about where your life is going. And don't measure your life with other people's success. They have their own problems. You are not them, and they are not you. You are you. So focus on the things you can control and do your best to control them. And I see you on the other side of success. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.